What's up, internet people, and specifically MSIA people? This is the Dotto here, and I'd like to show you guys another one of my custom MSIAs. And this is what I think the model number is RGC-80 GM Cannon prototype. This mobile suit, before the GM cannon was made, you know, the one with the single cannon on the side and it looks more like a GM, this was the prototype they made. It's basically, they took the data from the RX-77 gun cannon and put that into their GM line. And this is an actual MSV mobile suit. And let me show you what this guy, or how I made this thing. What you're gonna need for a GM cannon prototype is, well, a GM version 1 and a gun cannon, and maybe some pieces from a Gundam, or whatever you got, a Gundam version 1.5 for the shoulders. So as you can see, it's pretty basic, really, and it's a simple custom to make, and it makes a big statement to me. It gives it quite the variety. So check it out. Let me see if I can show you. See, it fits in line with the regular GM, and those are my other customs. But what you're gonna need to make something like this is, oh, I already told you, but you know, you're gonna have to take out the peg that usually has the GM head in place, and this one has just a standard peg, and so you just plug that right in there for the gun cannon head. And you're gonna have to remove the cannon mechanisms here. Oops, these things off the gun cannon. You're gonna probably have to. Oh no, they pop right out with the hot water trick, and glue that on there. Just glue those on there. You may have to slim down this piece, that little gray part, because it may be a little too thick or wide for how wide the GM torso is. And just glue that on there, and then you got the cannon effect. Gundam version 1.5 shoulders. And in the art, it's just a round forearm, and so, but it doesn't have the elbow, and so I cut out that elbow and inserted the GM peg from the GM arms, and it gives you a wide range of motion. Check that out. It gives it way more than 90 degrees. So you get a little extra articulation by doing that. Oops. Typical GM problem. Here, let me put that back on there. Okay, and so those three things, and the last thing you're gonna have to do is the backpack. You're gonna have to remove the backpack from the gun cannon and glue the two pieces together just like that, and then glue it on remove the GM backpack and glue it on there. And there's some versions that are like this and some versions that are different, so I just went with the simplest one, and it's still pretty accurate. So that's the GM prototype, GM cannon prototype, yeah. And it can be armed with these right here. This looks pretty cool. It gives it a kind of like heavy artillery look. That looks pretty cool on there. And of course you could be armed with this, and I was thinking about giving it a shield, but yeah, you would know what that looks like, right? And just to give it a closer look to a regular GM, there you go. So it looks pretty cool next to a regular GM. Looks like in line, of course. It's not all far-fetched. But here's my other customs. I'll put that in as beam sabers in the way. There's my GM line right there. So hopefully you can make this custom. You know, it's very easy, and it makes a big statement, you know, changes up the variety of the MSIA line quite a bit. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.